What's up, guys? I'm Don Smith, and this is What's Cooking Neighbor. And as always, I'm about to send your taste buds on a culinary journey. And today, what we're doing is steak fajitas. There's a lot of different kind of steaks you can use for your fajitas. There's a horchata, a flat iron steak. There's a flat steak. Many different. What I'm going to use today is this beautiful ribeye. I went to the store today, and they had some on sale. These are thin cut ribeyes. You can see the marbling running through that. That's all flavor right there. We're also going to make a quick little tomato salsa to go with this. We have some red, yellow, orange, sweet bell peppers. We have a poblano pepper, a lot of stuff. Let's just get into it right now. What we're going to do real quick is we're going to season these steaks up real quick now, and you can make your own seasoning if you want to, but I went the cheap route, and I have some fajita seasoning right here, and I'm just going to season these guys, and we're just going to let those hang out. Let that hang out and let that just marinate a little bit while we get everything else. You can do a really good rub on this. It really doesn't matter. We're just going to quickly sear these off anyway. So it really doesn't make that much of a difference, as long as it imparts a little bit of flavor in there. Now we're just going to let that sit to the side right there. I'm going to give my hands a quick wash really quick, and we're going to come back, and what we're going to start doing is chopping up the veggies for the fajita. Fajita is one of those quick go-to dishes for everyone. My family loves fajitas, Mexican food in general. So let's get, what we're gonna do first is we're gonna do this quick salsa real quick, because we want those flavors to come together, to meld together, and then, so we can do that. Oh, everybody out of the way. Here we go. We're just gonna quickly dice these up. In our quick salsa, we're going to have tomatoes, a little garlic, red onions, cilantro, just a real rustic, quick chop up. It doesn't have to be uniformed or anything. Just quick little bitty bite-sized pieces of the tomatoes. Now you can use Roma tomatoes or anything you can find fresh. These are Vine tomatoes. There's really no correct way to dice these up, just the best way you can do it. And once we get these chopped up, we're going to throw them into that bowl. And we're going to work with everything else. Now, the longer this sits together, the easier and the better all the flavors come together, and the better it will taste. So I will suggest you do this ahead of time, not like me at the last moment, because it does get better, especially if it sits overnight, because all those flavors have an opportunity to come together and hang out together, get to know one another, and have a good time. Here's our bowl. We're just going to quickly take our tomatoes, put them in the bowl. We want this juice too, so come along. Come hang out with us, guys. There's our tomato. Let me get some paper towels and wipe that board off. Now, onions. We're going to use this onions twofold. We're going to use the onions in our salsa, and we're also going to use these onions in the fajita itself. So we'll set you to a side, and we're going to dice these up. for our salsa. Take the outer wrap off. And this is the easiest way to make little bitty bite-sized dices. Just run your knife through this really quick. Onions in, into the pool. Now for our garlic. I have a whole head of garlic right here. We're going to push down easily, cracking them open, and we have these big, beautiful pieces of garlic. This is totally up to you. I'm a big garlic fan, so I could use a lot, but if you don't like garlic, you can use less or even omit it, but I suggest you use garlic. Easy way to get the paper off is just put your knife on it, give it a nice little smash, and look at that. Out comes the garlic. Easy peasy. And then we're just gonna give this a quick little dice up once we get all the paper out of the way. Yeah. And another thing that does when you smash it like that, it releases the flavor. So when the garlic goes in, it's already had a head start of releasing all that flavor that we want for the salsa. Now you probably don't want a big bite of garlic, so we want to mince this up as small as we can, just to get small little minced dices off our garlic. But I love the flavor of garlic, especially with cilantro. All right, garlic going in. Make sure we get all of that. Now, what's next? Cilantro. This is another one of those things. It's an acquired taste. Some people love it, some people don't. I happen to love cilantro on everything. Give that a quick little chop up. So again, if you like cilantro, you can use a lot. If you don't, use a little. Up to you. It's your kitchen. Have fun with it. It's the thing about working in the kitchen, your kitchen, you can do whatever you want. You can have fun with it. That's what I always say. As long as you're having fun, that's the only thing that matters. Bring your kids in. They could help out with this. All of our cilantro in. Now our lime. You could either, to get all the juice you possibly can out of it, you can put it in the microwave for a couple of seconds, or you can roll it like this, and this will release all its juices. And we're gonna go in, hit it with some extra virgin olive oil. With the lime. And a little pepper. If you have a fresh ground pepper, that'll work also. And I'm gonna use just a little bit of seasoning salt, not a lot. And I'm gonna come back here and grab a spoon. And we're gonna mix all that up together. And we're just gonna sit this to the side, and we're gonna let these guys hang out, let all those flavors come together. This is a real quick, easy little salsa. And when we come back, we're gonna start cutting up our veggies. We're gonna get our steak and sear them off. And before you know it, we're gonna be eating some fajitas. We'll be right back on What's Cooking Neighbor.
Whether you're 2 or 102, the Tigerville Grill has something for you. Take advantage of the Build Your Own Burger menu. In the mood for something small? Choose one of the many delicious slider options. Call ahead and use our fast and easy drive-thru. Oh, that cool freestyle fountain drink machine? We've still got it. The Tigerville Grill, located at 314 North Columbia Avenue and open to the public 11 to 8 daily.
Campbellsville Baptist Church, a church where all ages grow in the love of God. From children and youth worship to sports ministry and mission outreach, Campbellsville Baptist Church shares the love of God both in and outside of the sanctuary. Join us for worship on Sunday mornings at 9 and small group Bible study at 10:30. That's Campbellsville Baptist Church, the people of God sharing God's love because God's love changes the world.
A champion doesn't get days off. It takes determination and drive to realize goals. From long nights to early mornings. From the courts to the classrooms to online. At Campbellsville University, this is why we play. This is how we learn. This is where champions are made. Find your calling for a life change at campbellsville.edu.
What's up, guys? This is What's Cooking Neighbor. I'm your host, Don Smith, and today we're cooking steak fajitas. We already got a little tomato salsa going on right here. We have our steaks with a little fajita seasoning on top. That's sitting to the side, starting to come together. Now let's work on these peppers. We have some peppers going in. We have red peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers, poblano peppers. Let's get the seeds out and the stem. And then we're just gonna quickly chop these babies up. We got our oven on to the side that's waiting to go for us instead of us waiting for it. We have some onions also. We have some red onions and green onions we're gonna throw in this. And now, quickly, you can make these as small or as big as you want, totally up to you. And with our yellow, a couple more. The last one. Now, put our skillet on. Just go in with some light olive oil, a couple of teaspoons, tablespoons. And once that's heated up, we're gonna add our peppers. Make sure they're all apart. Poblano pepper. Deseed this also, that's where all the heat is. Take the stems out. And cut these into little strips as well. Cut just a little, this is a little big, let's go in with that. And now, go in with all our peppers. That's the sound we want to hear, the little sizzling sound. It means everything is ready to go. Throwing in our peppers. And we're gonna go in with a little pepper on this. You know, I always say season as you go, you build the flavors. And a little bit of seasoning salt. And if you're asking, why is he using seasoning salt? Quite frankly, because I forgot my kosher salt. So we ad lib, that's what we do. Give these a nice little stir. Make sure all that pepper and seasoning salt is being covered all over them. And it's already starting to look beautiful with the green, the yellow, the orange, the red, all the different colors. People always eat with their eyes first. Now, we're going to let that go, and then we're going to throw in our onions and garlic. Take the paper off. And we're going to throw those in, breaking them up as we go. Add them to the party. A little more pepper on those, because we want these to saute, not caramelize. So we're going to add a little season and salt to that. It's going to draw out the moisture. That way they will saute and not caramelize as much. And then we're just going to let these guys hang out. Then we're going to go over here with our garlic. Now this garlic we're going to slice, so I'm not going to smash it. We want thin little garlic pieces. Or you could crush it. It's totally up to you. You could. But I like little. And again, this is one of the things, if you like garlic, use a lot. If you don't, use a little. Totally up to you. And this is what we're looking for, nice little bitty pieces like this. And we're just going to throw in our garlic. Let that hang out with everybody there. Give that a stir, incorporate the garlic in. But keep going overboard. You will not escape. I can already start to smell that garlic with the onions and the peppers, and it smells delicious. And the colors are so beautiful. Now we're just going to let this go a couple more minutes. Stay in there, guys. We're just going to let this go a couple more minutes, let this onion soften up and let the veggies soften up. And we're going to come over here with some green onions. And we're going to let these guys go hang out over there as well. Cut off the ends. And cut these up in reasonably good sized pieces. It's going to add another dimension, another flavor to these fajitas. All right, guys. Now, all our veggies are in. They're starting to smell good. They look good. They're going to taste good. Our onions are turning translucent, exactly where we want them to be. Then we're just going to cook our green onions a little bit so they can soften up. This is exactly where we want this to be. Now what we're going to do, we're going to come over here and we're going to pull these guys out for a second. Keep as much of that oil in there as you can, because that's a lot of flavor. The garlic, the onions, the peppers, all flavored that oil right now. And this is exactly the garlic. Everybody out of the pool. Now what we're gonna do is right now is we're gonna sear off our steaks. And it's totally up to you if you want it. Now, these are thin, so they're not gonna take long to cook. We're gonna sear off our steak, and when we come back, we're going to be eating some steak fajitas, ribeye steak fajitas. We'll be right back. I'm your host, Don Smith, and this is What's Cooking, Neighbor.
A champion doesn't get days off. It takes determination and drive to realize goals. From long nights to early mornings. From the courts to the classrooms to online. At Campbellsville University, this is why we play. This is how we learn. This is where champions are made. Find your calling for a life change at campbellsville.edu.
Campbellsville University Cosmetology teaches beauty inside and out. The cosmetology students at CU receive salon experience while learning in a contemporary environment from faculty who have worked in the industry. With areas of study ranging from hairstyling to salon management, Campbellsville University Cosmetology can help you turn your passion into a profession. Kickstart your cosmetology career today. Visit campbellsville.edu/cosmetology.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm about to take my steaks out now. I gave them a nice little sear. As you can see, it's beautifully caramelized. And we're gonna put this on our cutting board, and we're gonna let these guys relax a little bit. And we're halfway there, guys. We're over halfway there. Boom. Even more flavor into that. We're gonna add our veggies back into the pool. And all those accumulated juices, we want all of that, guys. That's nothing but flavor. Toss this in the sink real quick. And you can see all those little brown bits and pieces in the bottom of our skillet. That's called fond, that's called flavor, that's called deliciousness. Now we have a half a cup of water. That's how we're gonna get that all that fond up. Come in with a wooden spoon, wooden spatula, and we're gonna add the rest of our fajita seasoning into that. And with your wooden spoon, just go around and scrape up all that beautiful flavor that's in the bottom of it, and that's gonna become a part of our fajitas. And I'm gonna cut this down on medium because that's done. I'm just gonna let these guys hang out into this, let it come together, and let that just go. Back to our steak right now. We're just gonna cut it up. These are beautiful medium, but we're gonna toss it back in. So if you don't like medium steak or you like yours well done, mid-well, it just depends on how long you're gonna keep it in there. These are medium to medium rare, and that's the way I like mine, but most people like theirs well done. And these are very thin cut ribeyes anyway, so it won't take long just to cook those through if that's the way you want your steaks. Ideally, you want these steaks to rest around 10 minutes to let all the juices go back into the steak. But really, it doesn't matter because these babies are about to go into the pool with the rest of the gang. And any of those juices that came out of the steak, we want those baby back in there. Now, our fajitas are more or less done. Now what we're gonna do, we got a pan right here, and we're just going to soften up some flour tortillas, or if you like corn tortillas, there's yellow corn tortillas, white corn tortillas. Today I went with the soft flour tortillas. When I eat tacos, I like corn tortillas, but with fajitas for whatever reason. I'm a big fan of the flour, but that's just me. There's many different ways you can do this on a grill. You can do this in the oven, on top of the stove. Totally up to you. And when we get done with our steak, we have some sour cream to throw on there. We have our salsa coming back into play that's been sitting on the side, and all those flavors have been coming together, and that's going to be delicious. We even have some habanero peppers slices. Usually go on nachos and stuff like that. We have some creme fraiche. This is the Mexican version of a souped up sour cream. And I have a little hot chili oil. If you like yours hot, we're gonna check that out. All right. Our tortillas are good. Let's get a plate over here and let's see what happened, guys. We also have some taco cheese blend. And why not? We got the rest of that lime. Let's just squeeze that in there. Add a little more flavor to this. Bring our tortillas out. Let's make 2 of these. Let's get some of that steak and those peppers and onions. A little bit of green onions in this too. Make sure I'm not missing out anybody. Now, a spoon. We're gonna come in with a little bit of creme fraiche on one of these. And a little sour cream on the other. If I can get it open. It's a dollop of sour cream on that one. Come over here with our tomato salsa with a little cilantro, garlic and onions. Maybe that'd be better if you guys can see it. And now just a little bit of cheese on that. And on this one, we're going to put a little bit of that hot oil. And maybe just a couple of these peppers on that. And then we can hit this, cut that off. We can hit this one with a little bit of olive oil. And there you have it, guys. Ribeye steak fajitas. And you know, there's only one thing to do now, and let's go in and test it to see how good it is and see how much of a mess I can make on live TV. The ribeye is tender and so flavorful. And you get a little bit of that heat from the hot chili oil. This is delicious. This is What's Cooking Neighbor. I'm Don Smith, I'm your host. Join me every Friday where we're cooking delicious meals just like this. I hope to see you there. We'll see you next time on What's Cooking Neighbor.